Welcome to the weekly headlines. I'm Kevin Hart.
I'm Mike Wennmacher.
And let's get right into it.
Hey!
Two televised debates happened this week. One local, Betsy Londrigan and Rodney Davis, and one national, Kamala Harris and Vice President Mike Pence. And while there were pot shots back and forth in both, it was so nice to watch a debate where the candidates aren't yelling at each other and the moderator's losing control. I mean, even this fly looked like he wasn't having any of it. Either that or he was stuck in Pence's hair gel.
And let's talk about that fly just a little bit longer, shall we? Because that fly stayed on Mike Pence's head for 2 minutes. Over 2 minutes. That's impressive. Didn't move. Also impressive, it's the most buzzed Vice President Mike Pence has been in quite a long time.
It looks like the committee investigating Mike Madigan's connection to a ComEd bribery scandal will not be meeting until after the election. Democrats say they need time to look over the subpoenas and that Republicans' minds are made up anyway. Look, yes, this whole thing's kind of suspicious and Republicans are furious, but I can't imagine why. I mean, if Madigan is brought in and indicted before the election, what do the Republicans have to run on?
The city of Springfield and neighboring communities have set the hours for trick-or-treating in this pandemic year. Springfield and surrounding towns, including Grandview, Jerome, Leland Grove, and Southern View, work together to have a consistent set of guidelines. Trick-or-treating in those communities will happen on Halloween, Saturday, October 31st, from 4 to 8 p.m. Officials are recommending that households put individually wrapped candy out on a table with each piece separated to reduce close contact. Okay, wait a second here. All right, candy out on a table, that's going to lead to one of two things. Either an all-out sprint to the table to be the first to grab all the candy, or a WWE-style table, ladders, and chairs match over a Butterfinger. Actually, I'm cool with both of those options.
Also, just a side note, with more precautions and probably less people participating in trick-or-treating events, hopefully this year we won't see the barrage of pearl-clutching Facebook posts about how people are slipping drugs and razors into candy. Spoiler alert, that doesn't happen.
President Donald Trump tested positive for the coronavirus this past weekend. Trump spent 2 days in Walter Reed Hospital before returning to the White House on Monday evening. Since then, Trump has done multiple videos and sent out massive tweets. By the way, the positive test result was the first positive test result the president received on his own in quite a long time.
Ever since he checked himself out of the hospital earlier this week, Trump seems to be flying quite high on a drug known as dexamethasone, tweeting out way more than usual and making bizarre statements on Fox News like calling Kamala Harris a communist monster who wants to overthrow the government and suggesting Biden will die 2 months into his term. Not to mention, he claims he doesn't want to waste his time on a virtual debate, but has no problem wasting time making videos in front of a green screen where he claims no one knows that he's a senior citizen.
Seniors, I'm a senior. I know you don't know that. Nobody knows that. Maybe you don't have to tell them, but I'm a senior.
I don't know if he's making a joke or what, but why does he have to make everything so weird?
Sales of adult-use cannabis is still growing steadily. According to reports, September sales totaled $67.6 million. That's $4 million more than August. Total sales since pot was legalized back in January is $431 million. It's really the one thing 2020 has gotten right. Can you imagine 2020 without legalized weed?
A Texas representative is suing Netflix, yes, Netflix, over the French movie Cuties, a semi-biographical social commentary on the sexualization of young girls. Netflix used a provocative photo of the young girls as the banner on their service, drawing criticism from the director for misrepresenting the movie, as well as many thinking the film glorifies the sexualization of young girls. Many people didn't even watch the movie for context and thought that this was some sort of pedophile conspiracy. I must say, it's odd that now they care enough to sue, but no one seemed to care when shows like Toddlers and Tiaras, Dance Moms, or Here Comes Honey Boo Boo were on network television for decades.
The NFL is dealing with a couple of coronavirus outbreaks that have affected the league's schedule for this weekend. New England Patriots have 2 players who have tested positive, and their game with the Denver Broncos scheduled for this Sunday has been moved to Monday. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Titans, who have had more than 20 positive tests within the organization over the last 10 days, have already had 1 game postponed and tentatively had their game this Sunday with the Buffalo Bills moved to Tuesday. If this keeps up, the NFL won't be playing a Super Bowl this fall, but instead be playing a Super Petri dish. Those are your weekly headlines. I'm Mike Wennmacher.
I'm Kevin Hart.
And we are out of here.